Adoatv, bringing good things to life. Adoatv, bringing good things to life. Adoatv, bringing good things.
It's 30 minutes past 6 in our top stories this morning. Lawyer Adoatv, who leads the Concerned Ghanaian Group, has presented to the Parliamentary Select Committee on Legal Affairs that the anti-LGBTQ plus bill violates the fundamental freedoms under the 1992 Constitution, Article 15 precisely. We'll get details shortly. Also coming up, we'll get the event that's unfolding as the commencement of the basic education certificate examination. In business this morning, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to present to us our new fiscal year, that is the 2022 budget, in some few hours to come. We've got details of various expectations coming up in a jiffy. My name is Nanya McCollison and this is AM Ghana News. Please do stay with me. Again, the news is live on Facebook at Adwa Television Ghana. There you may want to join us with your thoughts and comments. Let's settle for the details now. The Ghanaian Concerned Group, led by lawyer Adoatv, has told the Parliamentary Select Committee on Legal and Parliamentary Affairs that the promotion of proper human sexual rights and Ghanaian Family Value Bill 2021 seeks to violate virtually all the key fundamental freedoms guaranteed under the Constitution. According to the group, the provision of the bill violates the dignity and the vulnerability of every person guaranteed under Article 15.
The group, made these contentions while making a presentation at the commencement of the committee's public hearing in respect to the bill before it.
Our position on the bill is that it violates the fundamental human rights provisions of the Constitution. It is, in our view, a measure of the ultra extremism and totalitarianism of the bill that it somehow succeeds in violating virtually all the fundamental human rights provisions of the bill. Just one bill, one law, somehow has managed to violate every fundamental human rights provision in the bill. What do we mean by that? Now, by stigmatizing in the memorandum the LGBT community as inhuman or a taboo or alien to Ghanaian society, the bill grossly violates Article 12, guaranteeing the fundamental human rights of every person, subject only to respect for the rights and freedoms of others and the public interest. Again, Mr. Chair, Clause 212 of the bill contravenes the fundamental right to freedom of expression and speech, including media freedom, guaranteed under Article 21(1)(a) of the Constitution. It goes to the absurd extent of criminalizing sympathy for a prohibited act and promotion of support for change of public opinion. The bill criminalizes the promotion of support for change in public opinion with respect to LGBTQ matters, and sanctions that by a term of imprisonment of not less than 5 years and more than 10 years. So where a person exercises his freedom of conscience, freedom of expression, to sympathize with LGBTQ people, the sponsors of this bill want this democratic republic to make that a criminal offense, liable on conviction for a term of imprisonment of 5 years or not more than 10 years. Mr. Chair, this is not the republic that Ghanaians fought for.
Mr. Ampao disputed the portion of the bill that says 18.1% of Ghanaians with HIV and AIDS are homosexuals.
Chair, there's also the argument that there's a public health justification for the bill. The claim at page 6 of the memorandum of the bill is that 18.1% of people living with AIDS are gays. This claim is wholly inaccurate and shows a misunderstanding of the issues, and calculated to make a public health justification for targeting gay people. The true facts are that the data study relied upon by the Ghana AIDS Commission shows that 18% of a limited survey of men who have sex with other men are gay. It is not 18% of all the people in Ghana who have HIV or AIDS. It's 18% of a limited group of men who have sex with other men who were studied showed that they were gay. Indeed, only 5.4% of people living with HIV AIDS are men who have sex with men. Only 5.4%. In fact, the majority of people who have HIV AIDS are 65%. The data shows that 65% of the people who have HIV AIDS are women. And this is so because they have been affected by male sex.
However, he expresses disappointment in the sponsors of the bill for what he calls the silence over the attack on the LGBTQIA+ community. He described it as unfortunate and hypocritical.
Secondly, we are saying that the attacks that have followed the introduction of the bill on LGBTQ community all over have been met with an eerie silence by the sponsors who are telling us that they are passing the bill to protect them. We have not heard any condemnation from them, not from the churches, not from the mosques. We think that is unfortunate, and it exposes the hypocrisy of those provisions of the bill.
Subsequently, they emphatically stated that this bill cannot be passed.
We have demonstrated that the egregious forms in which the bill violates the provisions of the Constitution, especially the fundamental human rights provisions thereof. We have also shown that given the undisputed and significant charges that the bill imposes on the consolidated fund or any public funds, this bill cannot be introduced in Parliament by private members. We have shown further that the foundations for the introduction of the bill as set out in the memorandum have no empirical basis, not supported by any empirical evidence apart from the palpably.
Adoatv leads the Ghanaian Concern Group. Let's still stay in Parliament because meanwhile the Pentecostal and Charismatic Council have thrown its full weight behind the passage of the Promotion of Proper Human Sexual Rights and Ghanaian Family Value Bill 2021, making their presentation also before the committee. The disputed claims that the bill seeks to violate the fundamental human rights enshrined in the Constitution. They hence urge alacrity in the passing of the bill into law by Parliament.
Trying to customize our distinct values as a people by creating a situation that will preserve the sanctity of our time-honored values as a nation, which is free from foreign corruption and spoil position. We also see that the bill also seeks to protect the pristine Ghanaian norms and value systems and prevent the use of modern technology, as the case might be, to mud the waters. We see that the bill is a proactive step to give impetus to certain aspects of our criminal jurisprudence and deny it the technological oxygen to fuel the flames of a possible wildfire that might obliterate the foundations of our cherished norms and values, which makes us Ghanaians.
The council were of the view that the bill seeks to consolidate and fill the lacuna of existing legislation and position itself to meet the demands of the fast-shifting legal landscape occasioned by the LGBTQI+.
The fact that we see that the bill is a bold attempt to consolidate the constitutional and legislative framework of this dear nation. The Criminal Offences Act of 1962, Act 29, has done very well. It's served this nation so well over the past number of years. Under that act, we see that unnatural carnal knowledge. We see section 104, which criminalizes unnatural carnal knowledge, which is defined as sexual intercourse with a person in a natural manner. This is to address the peculiar challenges which face society in those days. But we should understand that it's a different generation with a different cup of tea. Things have changed so much. And because of that, naturally, there have come certain lacuna in Act 29, which I believe, or we believe that this bill can very well address.
Again, they expressed that They seek to also assert the sense of self-assertion as a sovereign state, not tied to the apron strings of others, nor in perpetual relations with any foreign power.
Chair, we believe that this nation is unanimous in its expression of abhorrence of the LGBTQI agenda. We all know what most heads of foreign nations, especially in the Western Hemisphere, have been doing or saying against this bill. In October 2011, the former British Prime Minister said that if I threaten to withdraw or minimize financial aid in countries that don't support certain basic human rights, in addition to in relation to rights of gays. This threat was repeated by the British Prime Minister Theresa May in 2018. And we believe that translating this bill into law should give every Ghanaian an idea of the unyielding African personality which our first president, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, wanted us to carve for ourselves as a nation. That for once, we bring ourselves from the apron strings of any other group, and we are setting ourselves as Ghanaians.
However, contrary to popular claims of discrimination, they emphatically stated that the bill has protection and support structures for victims, hence their support to its passage.
Contrary to people's assertion that the bill seeks to trample upon the fundamental human rights of proponents of the LGBTQI+, indeed the bill shows a human face. If there are general protection and well-being, we all know the position of the law as far as self-help is concerned. Self-help and other forms of extrajudicial treatment of persons suspected of crimes in our jurisprudence are abhorred. But the proponents of this bill, they've come out of their shell. They are not saying that the law abhors self-help, so let's leave it at that. But they've come out, and clause 22 of the bill states, express disavowal of such practice and makes it an offense punishable by fine or imprisonment. So they know very well that there are enough laws in the system to protect self-help. But they've come out because they feel that we need to give things a human face. And it reflects on their thinking that they are not vengeful. They need to ensure that people who have gone to the other side need to be brought back into the right path.
Accordingly, they urged alacrity in the passage of the bill into law by Parliament.
Mr. Chair, judged from the clear poster evinced by a clear majority of Ghanaians across the political, ethnic, and religious divide, the bill appears to have gauged the mood of Ghanaians and the nation and giving the people what they want to get. So I believe that because the bill appears to have gauged the mood of the nation, Parliament should also step in and, as the reps of the people, move on and make sure that this bill is passed into law. Because you are here not on your own volition, you are here to serve people.
Let's do some education-related stories. As people at a junior high school level across the country on Monday, 15th November 2021, began their basic education certificate examination. 6,180 candidates are participating in exams in Tamale Metropolis. The Metropolitan Chief Executive of Tamale, Honorable Salifu Sule, together with the Education Director of Tamale, have been to some of the examination centers to monitor and also share words of encouragement with students. Nuruddin Ibrahim comes through with the next report.
The annual Basic School Examination, BECE, has taken off this year on Monday, 15th November 2021. In Tamale, in the northern region of Ghana, an estimated 6,180 students are expected to partake in this year's examination. Mayor of Tamale, Honorable Suli Salifu, together with the Education Director of Tamale, have paid visits to some examination centers to monitor and also encourage the students ahead of their subsequent papers. Addressing some of the candidates at the Ghana Secondary School, Honorable Suli Salifu expressed hope that the entire candidates will pass the examination. He charged the students to take the examination very serious because it is the beginning of their future.
To see how the exams is to be conducted and to wish you well and flying colors as well. Like the letter indicated, today marks the beginning of you individually shaping your future. This exam will show you your future, what you will be in the future, where you will go in the future. So I want to beg you, my brothers and sisters, take these exams very, very seriously. We are standing before you here today, not because we are the strongest in town, but because our parents took care of us, because we listened to our parents, because we listened to our teachers, because we took our studies very seriously. But my mother was very passionate about my education. Today, what I want to do for my mother, I can do for her. And it's not because of anything, it's because of education. So please, your director is here. It's education. Other teachers and staff of the Tamale Metropolitan Assembly are here. It's because of education. Education is the best form of investment that our parents can give to us. Today, my father is late, but I'm alive and I can survive on my own. Try to come out with flying colors and proceed to higher educational institutions so that tomorrow you can survive on your own.
Just join us. You are watching AM News on Adoatv Television with me, Nanya Collins, and let's do the latest in the world of business. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to present the budget statement for the 2022 fiscal year. Now, ahead of this presentation, stakeholders are hopeful both from the agricultural sector and from the informal sector, with tax analysts commenting on their expectations with regards to the budget presentation. Here's a Business News Desk report highlighting some of the expectations. On Wednesday, November 17, 2021, Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is expected to present to us the journey that beckons on our new economy, the 2022 budget statement and economic policy. But prior to that presentation, lots of stakeholders have shared their expectation, with majority of them not expecting new taxes. Now, tax analyst Francis Timoboy is expecting government to run the public sector and private sector.
I do not believe that selling them will do us any good. It's just like selling your chicken which lays the egg. The problem we have with the state institutions are that we are not able to put them to tax to perform. Look, we have state institutions that perform essential functions and they can be profitable. So why don't we really lead them? Why don't you take our hands off? I mean, as politicians, we need to take our hands off for these institutions to perform. It should be managed like a corporate institution, company.
Like it is for a private sector.
Exactly. We should allow them to operate as private entities. If we really want to develop the nation, that is where we should go. Selling them off will just give you some small amount of money. Some investors will come and buy it, and tomorrow they turn it out, and then it is better for them. So I wouldn't advocate that we should sell them off. What we need is a change in philosophy and management policy. We should just change those ones.
The economy where we are now, and following the recent
introduction of taxes, I don't believe that it will be any good, especially looking at the circumstances we find ourselves now to introduce such standards. Yes, we admit that government has a huge revenue gap to fill. The last time we had about 40 something, 43 billion Ghana cedis to cover, to fund the budget. I do not think that imposing new taxes is the right time. We will be surprised because, look, government has needs to meet. We will be surprised. I rather would want new taxes to come in 2023.
Okay.
I really do not expect them to introduce additional taxes. What we expect is to restructure the administration of taxes, formalizing the informal sector. Let's look at where we are not taxing enough. So, for example, the informal sector, where we think that some policies are not being implemented, the laws are there. Okay, so for example, if we want to look at vehicle income tax, we should look at it. I think we should pay more attention to the informal sector and see how we go with taxes. I would rather wish that some of the tax policies are reversed. For example, the levies. We should reverse them back to the way they used to be before 2018. That will free the production system, and then we'll be able to produce more. And for me, I think that will go with moving from taxation to production. What we see currently, I believe that the levies and other things which are not deductible is really affecting businesses. So I don't expect any taxes.
But what would stakeholders expect from this budget, in as much as it's been themed as the budget for entrepreneurs and startups? Well, the president of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, Dr. Joseph Obing, is not expecting new taxes for the informal sector.
We thought that coming from 2020 COVID challenges that the government faced and all that, we have to support. But now, things are getting out of hand because of the reasons that I mentioned. There were commodity prices, freight charges, and internally here, cost of doing business at the port also increasing by the day. Fees and charges at the port going up from 12 items now to about 18 items. It makes it so difficult for us to be able to pay our duty and other taxes. In addition to the high cost of materials which we procure from outside sources. And that's why we are pleading with government. But if government wants to enhance on its revenue collection, what we have suggested is that government can look within the taxes that are already here, expand the tax net wider. Because just a few of us are paying these taxes. And they'll know how are we going to draw tax maps to identify areas that people are not paying the taxes and rope them in, so that a lot more people will be paying, and however little taxes that will be paying will then be more for government.
Also, President for the Peasant Farmers Association, Dr. Charles Nyaba, is also advocating for release to the agriculture sector.
In terms of job creation, import substitution, stabilizing the CD, and even being resilient in the midst of COVID. Agriculture has proven that.
To stay with us on AM Ghana Show as we delve into some of the expectations and what is coming up in the budget 2022 physical statements. Let's do the latest in the world of sports. Hazakah's ladies have become the first club to reach the finals of the inaugural CAF Women's Champions League after a hard-fought victory.
Been unbeaten since the beginning of the competition, winning 3 games and drawing 1. Asaka's ladies struggled to be at the best of the opening 30 minutes against the Sfar club, However, they found the much-needed goal. They restored confidence in the team after a wonderful corner kick was headed home by Doris Bedua for her first goal of the competition in the 36th minute. They failed to hold onto the lead as the Moroccans equalized on the stroke of half-time courtesy Najat Badri. The Ghanaian Giants came in strong in the second half, and their efforts was rewarded when they were awarded a penalty following a VAR review. However, Perpetual Ajikum missed the kick and the rebound as the score remained 1-1 despite failing to score the penalty.
I wrap up on today's edition of AM News on Adoatv Television. We'll bring you updates of these stories in our subsequent bulletins. Meanwhile, you can visit our website www.adoanewsonline.com. My name is Nanya McCullis, and from me and the rest of the team, we'll see you again very soon. Please stay with us on AM Ghana Show as we dive into the expectations of the 2022 budget statement. Bye-bye.
CB makeup now. I'm a go correct. Why your best mankasa? That's it. You want oh, middle. You captures back on CB makeup sauce. Missy CB makeup sauce and make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You knew me that and 1 year packaging I had the
wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Water, but when I get your mouth, and then so I order. You are fired.
Malaria and tea. But you are yet bono.
Which you are defeated.
Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo. I should the customers. Well, when say mammy, I smart. I bet CB Malakio. I'm man the buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a Janisi berry market any malaria and tea. I want to mean. And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better one. And the CB Malakio. You didn't know. And now I can't bomb a son so I CB Malakio. And no way so there. And I don't grow. I yet tap shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada one in fear.
Susanna. Oh, dear, we get
FD Ashusha Sa a Jedi and Kratoimu Aja to Musa and
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. the first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at Stepwork premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with Rwandair today. Rwandair, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Malaria nti abayiwa yedwuma bono. Malaria therefore yao nti awo ahyere ne customers ni. Wahu ne se maami aye smart apɛ CB Malakio amma ne baya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria nti a ontimi ni.
And now Emma will be around to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better and the CB Malakio. You didn't know. And now I can't bomb a son so I CB Malakio. And no way so there. And I don't grow. I yet tap shit.
A drawing near my appeal for about a woman for any quada one in fear.
Susiana, what would you with
FD Ashesha sa a JD and crack to you aja to Musa and
CB makeups now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa?
That's it.
Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures back on CB makeup sauce.
Ah, you
Me see CB men capsules na make a yen.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules na ye nim ne dada. And one year packaging na ye the
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules no packaging is an. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Adoatv 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
November 2020. We are pleased to come your way this morning with another edition of AM Ghana. Good morning and welcome to today's show. My name is Samuel Kusiapia. Wherever you are watching us from, good morning to you. Wherever you're hearing us from, whether you are in a trotro, on your way to work, whether you are in a taxi, whether you are home, we say a very big good morning to you and hope that you are doing very, very well. This morning, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to do because you know that very soon the finance minister will be going to parliament to present a budget, and we are going to take a lot of highlights. In fact, we are going to preview the budget reading before it happens. Our brother Reginald Ade will be there and will be feeding us with a lot of information as far as that is concerned. There are others that we are going to be talking about, as well as what we do best every day, bring you some tips as far as health is concerned before the show ends. I'm not doing this alone. I have with me our lady, Julia. Julia, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I am blessed and highly favored. Happy to be alive.
Yeah, Reginald Adi wants me to ask you why you are in white. Is it because they are reading budget? Yeah, so in a week that budget will be read, you wear whites all the time.
We'll see.
Okay. Anyway, Ray, so that is the reason for the whites. Budget is being read, so that is why.
I hear.
All right. So I mean, in just a few seconds, do you have any expectations in the budget?
In the budget, yes. Of course, I know that standing for the youth, I know that the youth have high hopes.
Okay.
Especially where unemployment.
You have high hopes.
Yes.
Yeah, no get.
Yeah, I mean, we've been drumming on this particular issue, unemployment a lot. So it will come as a shock to me if there is nothing concerning unemployment. I mean, nothing
in the budget.
Yes, then it will tell me that indeed
we give up. Like I always say, give up. Don't worry yourself. Give up. Well, there is a lot of conversations coming your way in the next about 2 hours. So kindly stay with us, and then we would save you very well this morning. So we are going to take a quick turn and give some felicitations to our sponsors. When we come back, we have the newspaper segment for you. We'll be back after this break.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety, offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with AM Ghana here on Adoatv Television, and we are pleased that you are with us throughout the entire period. And as I indicated earlier, we will take a graphic, and then I've gone back for our graphic. We'll take the newspapers and then see what the newspapers are telling us. But it's the birthday of a very special person for all of us, and wherever she's watching us from, happy birthday to you. But before people start thinking of where somebody is watching us from, the woman in white in the studio is celebrating her birthday today. So, in fact, the white dress is not because of the budget. I thought that during the whenever budget will be red, she decides to wear white. I don't know whether it's in solidarity with the budget that will be red or what. But today, it is not because of the budget. She's actually celebrating her birthday. And so all of us here, even including you, the viewers, I believe if I ask you to come in, call. If Sasu opens the phone lines for you to call and sing for her, a lot of songs will be coming in. But let us not burden you with those. I believe with us, we want to wish you a happy birthday. On behalf of the Bishop, DS, Uncle Reginald, the director, Cyril, our programs boss, Pepsival, Reginald Ade, Anas, Fali, Ransford, and everybody, Odate.
Not forgetting Mary.
Yes, of course. We are wishing you a happy birthday. I have lost my voice. I would have sung a nice song for you.
Yeah.
But I have lost my voice. Normally, when I lose my voice, I sing in P. If I lose my voice, the only language I can sing in is in P. And I don't know whether there's a P birthday song. I would have sung that for you.
I learned the what shall I say is a tree
Okay,
song.
all right. So then let me sing. What shall I say unto the Lord? Or to say thank you, Lord.
Oh, I think that's a pidgin version because I know the second line. I'm hearing English words there.
Please, happy birthday to
much.
Julia, Lady Julia. We pray God's blessings, God's speed, good health, prosperity, wisdom, knowledge, strength, and success, progress. Everything, every positive thing. We pray for you that by the next time we are sitting here and celebrating you again, the story will be very, very different. That the Lord would have elevated you above our imaginations. Oh yeah. Thank you very much for the song. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Let me see if I have some 2 CDs. Please, if you have 2 CDs, let me present it to them on behalf of the program's man. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Yes. So we have sung for. You see, Percival has sung a very beautiful. This was Percival's voice. This is not a recorded. It was a surprise we wanted to. We put this together yesterday. He had to rehearse for like 3 weeks to get the songs right. So you see, Percival has gone out of his way to sing you this beautiful.
I want to
happy birthday
believe
song.
that. I think I
Director.
don't have any
Thank you very much for this beautiful song, boss. And thanks to all of you who will be sending the Momo to her number. Please, the happy birthdays are welcome, but the Momos are very, very important.
Very
I'll put the number on the screen so that you can be sending her the 2 CDs, 1 CD, 50 pesos, and 90 pesos for us to enjoy a birthday party.
All right.
Thank you very much, and God bless us all.
Thank you so much. It's an honor. I feel so blessed this morning. I always say blessed and highly favored, but today I have to say blessed squared and highly favored squared as well. Thank you so much. I thought I could hide it, but anyway.
No, you don't hide things like that. You can't hide things from us.
Thank you.
All right, so on this note, we move to bring you the highlights in the newspapers. And the first one I'm going to read from is the Ghanaian Times, the front page. There is at the corner of the front page, it says, "Happy birthday to Julia of Adoatv." First, this thing. Thank you very much. Now, the Deputy Education Minister is here and he's speaking. He says it's a national disaster. And this is in relation to the drowning of the 9 students in the Oti River. As national disaster, Education Minister says. Now, Finance Minister is to present the 2022 budget today. Kendo Furiata is going to present the 2022 budget today in Parliament. 4 convicted over dealings in gold money laundering in Takwa. And restore name of Kentucky Adamalache, the second, to National Register of Chiefs. A court has ordered. Okay, so fake lawyer grabbed for alleged 80,000 Ghana cedis recruitment scam. And 5 arrested for stealing railway tracks. Face Ghana, face Ghana, face the country, face the country. You are stealing railway tracks. Special prosecutor petitioned to investigate La Bianca company. Okay. And there is more news here. Kwame Nkrumah Memorial Park rakes in 1.8 million Ghana cedis in 4 years. All right. Let's do more here. The Ghana Statistical Service commits to provide credible data to accelerate national development, and the Resource Legal Aid Commission to make service accessible to the public, and the Lands Ministry to set up task force to fight illegal laundering in Bono East region, and the victims of the tidal waves to be relocated. Still in the Ghanaian Times, the National Health Insurance Authority targets universal health coverage. And elsewhere, coalition of concerned teachers calls for 20% cost of living allowance, that is COLA. So coalition of concerned teachers calls for 20% cost of living allowance for public sector workers. Public sector workers. And EcoBank, okay, these are multi-choice Ghana, okay. Now, the Ghana Stock Exchange marks 31st anniversary amid 2021 impressive run. And then in sports, Benjamin Mendy, Manchester City's player, charged with 2 additional counts of rape. Unfortunate for the young man, the injury concerns for Liverpool ahead of Arsenal game. And in boxing, Sheriff Quay gets WBO Africa title shot. Encourage referees to do better. Referee Wellington is urging. And James Akamenko, winning league is our target. That's from the Great Olympics marksman. Bono East region to become rice capital of Ghana. Bono East region to become rice capital of Ghana. And Brekum Holy Family Hospital gets 600,000 COVID-19 treatment center. Brekum Holy Family Hospital gets 600,000 Ghana cedis COVID-19 treatment center. That's it for the Ghanaian Times.
Oh, truth and accuracy every day. Daily graphic has for you, of course, the screaming headline, 2022 budget today. 2022 budget today anchors on digitalization, skills training, and entrepreneurship. So we are all geared towards the parliament today. We want to hear, we want to see, and we are hopeful. Yes, we keep hope alive. Minus to receive, how do you mention this word? Pfizer. Is it correct?
Yeah, Pfizer.
Okay.
If you want to, people say Pfizer.
Pfizer
BioNTech,
sounds like the football team. So I think
Pfizer.
I'll keep.
No,
I'll
Pfizer.
keep Pfizer. Yeah, COVID-19 shots. Yes, minus to receive, and the story is captured on page 16. Yes, minus to receive these shots. Ghana Health Service says it has received approval from the Food and Drugs Authority to lower the age limit for administering the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine to 15. And there's more on it. Until approval last Monday, the national vaccination plan only captured people 18 years and above. So it has been reduced to 15 years. And still on students, minus their education ministry has directed the GES to stop using pupils for labor. Of course, this is in light of what we'll call the national disaster 9, and I saw some saying 10 yesterday. So I was a little confused on it. Some saying 9, some saying 10. Whatever it is, the lower the better. So stop using pupils for labor. This is an issue that could easily have been averted. That's what's sad about it. Well, I don't know, but I have here an update on yesterday. We read to you 2 Chinese men with 2 Ghanaian accomplices in that illegal gold deal, or that scam, whatever it is. They have been convicted. The story is also on page 16. All right, so hey, did I say page 60? It's on page 60. A circuit court at Takwa has fined the 4 persons a total of 5.4 million Ghana cedis for unlawfully dealing in gold in the country. The convicts were made up of the 2 Chinese. I mentioned their names are captured here: Shen Hong and Shen Zili. Yeah. I hope I mentioned it right with enough precision. They were fined 1.4 million each. Okay, so the names again, I'm mentioning them again. Shen Hong and Shen Zili were both fined 1.4 million Ghana cedis each. This should have been in dollars. So they are Chinese. Or, in default, serve 15 years each in prison, and their accomplices received the same 1.4 million. That's for Stephen Arthur, and 1.2 million, or default, serve a prison term of 15 to 10 years. That's respectively. Yes, Stephen Arthur and Prince Dennis in that particular issue, and that makes it for the front page. I'm jumping straight to the middle spread. Ministry reviews fisheries and aquaculture policy. So of course, when we mention this, then it means you are going to mention the name of Mrs. Mavis Howard Kumson, the Minister of Fisheries and Aquaculture. Book on mental health care has been launched. Book on mental health care has been launched. A picture of Reverend Joyce Ayi, Executive Director of Salt and Light Ministries, with Dr. Joseph Bediako Asari, among others. They are there. A picture of them there, and the story is there on the middle spread, page 33 to be exact. Agric scientists, advocates confer on food security. Agric scientists and advocates confer on food security. And I think that will be it for me. So just grab a copy. But before I do that, let me do a little of sports. Hearts, yes, Hearts makes news again. Chase first win against Ashford on Sunday. And then FIFA confirms SAFA protest against Ghana.
Yes, you people cheated them. you mafia the South Africa people.
Wow. Okay, so World Football Governing Body FIFA has confirmed receiving a complaint from the South Africa Football Association, that SAFA, in respect of their 2022 FIFA World Cup qualifier against Ghana, which they lost 1-0 at the Cape Coast
Don't worry
Stadium
yourself. You won't go
last Sunday. So there's more on confirmation on the complaint, and then, okay, there's more on that. So it says Lamte, who wrongly awarded a penalty to the South Africans, was later handed. I think that, okay, that has to do with 2018.
Yes,
FIFA.
yes.
Okay, so there's a comparison.
Oh yeah.
Comparisons
They
have
do
been
have some
made
before.
there.
They do have some before.
They do answer sorted for that. Okay.
I mean, it wasn't intentional. Ghana had no hand in telling the referee to. The Ghana didn't do anything. It's just that it happened to be in our favor.
Okay.
And we
so it
like
could have gone anywhere.
And we like it. So that one, whatever they want to do, it is their own cup of tea. Anyway.
Okay, but Randiabe rubbishes the call.
It won't go anywhere.
It won't go anywhere.
Forget about it. It happens. I think in the 2010 or so World Cup qualifying, we all saw somebody handling a ball into the pole of their opponent. We all knew it was a foul. The referee accepted as a goal. Nothing happened. So they should stop.
Right.
We understand their frustration, but
until there's a video showing us handing over money to the referee, maybe.
Nothing.
All right, so that's a wrap up for the daily.
Okay,
graphic.
Another daily I have here is the Daily Statesman. I mean, our Kunfi to MPP. We need unity to win 2024 elections, and digitalization, entrepreneurship, skills development are top priorities in the 2022 budget. Digitalization, entrepreneurship, skills development, top priorities in the 2022 budget. Baumia urges politicians to use positions positively, and the Ghana Education Service directed to end child labor in schools. I support that. End child labor in schools. Now, let's get some inside stories. And NPP chairman says, disunity, apathy can push us into opposition. It's true. And banks write off 1.37 billion Ghana cedis as bad debt. Oh, how? CSOs want 2022 budget to improve revenue mobilization and ensure safety on our roads. Ni Anan Ajo. Set a champion drums up support for inland water transportation. Support for inland water transportation. John Kuma writes, Mahama's attack of the economy defies logic. Coming from the Member of Parliament, John Kuma. In entertainment, I can never be attracted to another man. Kwabna is speaking here. Yes. And they used to call me Adwinfi. I have been bad from teenage. Samini confesses. Elsewhere, Mel Gibson to direct Lethal Weapon 5. Wow. This movie.
Yeah.
Very old movie, yeah.
A very good movie.
So Mel Gibson, well, we are looking forward to it. And in sports, Ghana turn focus to 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. Okay. We are poised for that. There is something that is not getting a lot of mention. Hazaka's ladies are doing something very brilliant, and even sometimes you see that is why we have problems with our ladies.
Yesterday, it was yesterday.
Even our ladies are not speaking about it. If the men don't talk about it, it becomes a problem. Hazaka's ladies, the first female club team to reach the first ever Women's Champions League on the African continent, and they have done that in style. They have not lost a single match. And Evelyn Bedua, I mean, is it Evelyn Bedu? Yes. She's scoring left, right, center. She's spoiling everywhere. Congratulations to Hazaka's ladies. Yeah. And if you look at how they had to go through before they got to where they have gotten to, I mean, you'll be sad. You see, from 4 months ago, they didn't even have lorry fare to travel to go and play with the West African Championship.
It was preparing them. I mean,
but they went there to go and win.
Yeah.
They have won from there. They came back to Ghana, started preparation. They had a very short time to prepare and go to Egypt.
Yes,
still. They had to do Lala Sulala and get money to go to Egypt. And now look at the glory they are almost bringing together. They are in the finals. And we believe that we will beat the Sundowns ladies if we meet them in the final. And the unfortunate thing is that they are also from South Africa. So if we beat them again, it will be Ghana beating South Africa again. And we will have troubles. These people are angry. Anyway, I'm done with the daily statement too.
Anyway, we still have to beat them. Hazaka ladies, you have our support. We'll still beat them.
Yes.
Yeah, the new crusading guide on the budget. And I think this caution goes to myself as well. Dr. Stephen Amoa admonishes, guard your expectations. Guard your expectations. That's concerning the budget that's going to be read later this morning. Don't undermine trust in court. The Chief Justice cautions. Should this be a caution? I think that the courts have to live up to standards. They have to prove for me to. You don't tell me to trust something that I don't trust it for a reason. So you have to defy my reason and then I gain trust. But you caution me and say, oh, hold your guard. I think you have to trust it. No, I think that our courts have to do better. Yeah. Lands Natural Resources Minister commends Bono House of Chiefs for waterside tree planting initiatives. Anyway, but I think it's a right, initiative. So let's go on. I love trees. So when you come to our house, you see I have coconut tree, I have pear, I used to have mango. They cut it down. I've started replanting it again. We are going to grow trees all around. Make sure you have one or two. It sure has all. There is nothing negative about trees. So let's do our best. Police pull stopper on Oka Deco. So I'm told that Oka Deco is constructing in Spintex. Police had to place a stop on their activities. That is, they are going against court orders.
Yeah.
Oka Deco, I hope you resolve this quickest. Okay. All right. So I think that'll be it. A little more on international news. So Biden and Xi have their talks as China warns US about playing with fire when it comes to Taiwan. And Kampala blast, I learned there are suicide bombers which targeted the Ugandan capital. At least 4 killed in that, in the blast. At least 4 killed. I just ask, when would all this stop? But I think that'll be it. Usually they have something for Nigeria, but today it seems... All right, so that'll be it for the new crusading guide. They were short because the leaves were very thin.
Daily guide is next. And M&E National Coordinator Task Agency staff on government flagship program. What is it? M&E? Let me check quickly. So the National Coordinator in charge of the Monitoring and Evaluation Secretariat. So Monitoring and Evaluation Secretariat Coordinator, Task Agency staff on government flagship programs. Minister lauds Bono Chiefs tree planting. And Sosu dodges court again. Sosu dodges court again. Bench warrant for Mahama girl over 93 million Ghana cedis case. Selina Tamaklo Atunu. Okay. Tragedy hits NDC NPP. Fortunately, as a nation, we had to lose 2 of our statesmen. Former, the late Jifa Ativo was a former minister, and yesterday, newly sworn in DCE, also who belongs to the NPP party, so passed. May their soul rest in perfect peace. Now, let's see what is happening on the international front. Biden, Xi talks. China warns US about playing with fire on Taiwan. And motorbike gunmen kill at least 15 in Nigeria.
How does Nigeria handle this?
And prophetess murdered in Takwa Unfortunate. And the CJ inaugurates Judicial Press Corps. The Chief Justice Nini Boa has inaugurated Judicial Press Corps. NPP gets Constitution Review Committee. And teachers call for salary increment. Ghana Water to chase defaulting customers. And okay. The housing minister visits coastal towns over tidal waves. Mineral Commission visits salt mining sites. And the MP pushes for improved health care for constituents. Let me go to entertainment to CBSR Rocks Virtual Hub. And Joseph Matthew bounces back with a new single. And Nkrumah Memorial Park bags 121,000 Ghana cedis. And in sports, we have half striker remanded. Gilbert Fiamenyo has been remanded by the Ajabin District Court in Accra. Fiamenyo was arrested on Sunday for allegedly assaulting a police officer at the Accra Sports Stadium during the Hearts Indiana Stars game. FIFA probe Ghana-South Africa penalty incident. FIFA probe Ghana-South Africa penalty incident. And Ronaldo's launch is like a training section. NASCO One Stars, $10,000 pledge. Electroland Ghana Limited owners of NASCO Electronic Products have presented a check of $10,000 to the Black Stars in fulfillment of their pledge to support the senior national team towards their 2022 FIFA World Cup campaign. That's it for the daily guide.
Okay, so last, definitely not the least, the Chronicle, the True Independence, has a picture here of some illegal mining in Ghana. We keep screaming and screaming about this, but this is what it has to say. Unfortunately, it says we pay 200 cedis a year to assembly to use Changfang for Galamsey. Assemblyman come miner alleges. They pay 200 Ghana cedis yearly. 200 Ghana cedis to destroy our rivers, 200 Ghana cedis to destroy our vegetation, 200 Ghana cedis a year, not even a month. All right. More of, I have two more stories here. In Team Forger leads delegation to commiserate with families of drowned pupils. I read somewhere yesterday where the parents were saying they forgive the headmaster. They forgive the headmaster for actually sending the children over there. I was like, is it all the parents? That's very quick and easy, but I can understand in the spirit of forgiveness what the spirit of forgiveness can lead one to do, but that does not the right word is not coming. Is that it does not absolve him of all. So sorry for you. You still have to deal with the law. Yes, I displayed wrong picture. I displayed wrong picture. I want to read on that coming from the Honorable Afenyo. Afenyo Marking admits and apologizes. He says the Deputy Majority Leader and Member of Parliament for Ifutu constituency, Mr. Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Marking, has apologized for remarks he made on issues related to the recent tidal waves which struck parts of the Volta region. The MP yesterday specifically rendered an apology over an image he presented purporting to be people winning sand at the Keta beach, which he later found out to be untrue. So he's apologizing. And as I'm reading to you, I'm spreading his apology to you as well. So he apologizes for all he said. It was a mistake on his part. And in the same spirit of forgiveness, you are forgiven. I think I'll jump to the last page of the Chronicle. That's the back page, and it's sports. FIFA to review Ghana South Africa World Cup qualifier. We'll see how that goes. Video replay shows South Africa defender dragging Amate or Amate, whichever one. I'm giving you alternatives. Iran accused of playing a man in their women's national team. Hey! I think the hijab and all that was enough to cover certain features. We'll see how that goes as well. Hey! Okay. John Terry congratulates Maguire on overtaking him as England's highest scoring defender. Wow, England's highest, when defenders leave their mark like this anyway. So that's a wrap up for is. Are there any issues you want to talk about?
Father Bonnie is watching us from the United States of America, and he says happy birthday to Julia. Father Bonnie.
Thank you.
Is wishing
Thank you.
Happy birthday. Good morning. Okay, so it's actually dawn in the US of A. It's around, I believe, 2 a.m.
What was the time? Yeah,
2:46 a.m. thereabouts. And Father Bonnie is wishing you a happy birthday. Thank you,
Thank
Father Bonnie.
you. Thank you so much.
But
I nearly forgot to do the Bible quote.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
The Bible quote. Isaiah 32:6. Isaiah 32:6. For a fool speaks nonsense, and his heart inclines toward wickedness. Hey, so who is this directed at? I think it will be the Galamsey, because I don't see.
But why do you people think it's directed at somebody? Somebody has put in their thing there.
It is always. Anyway, so that's a wrap up.
Okay.
The final.
Well, that is it for the newspaper headlines, and we are going to take a quick turn. When we come back, we'll look briefly into our expectations. You know, yesterday the Ministry of Finance released a statement, and the statement focused a bit on what we could expect, what we should expect as far as the budget for today is concerned. So we will take a quick turn, come back, and take some discussions into that.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
CB will make up now. I'm correct. What's your best mankasa? That's it. Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. Me see CB men capsules in America.
Yeah, you CB men and women's capsules now. You knew the data. And one year packaging I had the
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada go di fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Malaria and tea. You are yet more bono. Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo. Ashram the customers. One is a mammy, I smart. Upper CB Malakio. A man buy or the eco school. Share. Say a Janisi berry market ni malaria and tea. I want me.
And now Emma when we are to walk. So we have malaria test. Maybe one. And better one. And the CB Malakio. Yedinuna. Nehama. And now kick out from a son so I CB Malakio. And no way so there. And I don't grow. And yet tata shit.
A drawing your ma appeal for. A battle woman for. Any quada won't in fear.
Susiana. What would you with you?
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crack to you adia to Musa and
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
CB women capsules now. I'm not correct. Why your best mankasa?
That's it.
Who anymore? Oh, middle. You capsules back on CB men capsules. Me see CB men capsules na make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name that and one year packaging I the
Wow! What a packaging! Sibi men, any Sibi woman captures no package in the sand. And you also no moody any bias and wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwadano for. Any kwadano who you and come home.
Susanna, Ghana man man tamasi.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
AM Ghana here on Adoatv Television. And now, ahead of the budget reading in Parliament today, you know that the Finance Minister is going to Parliament on behalf of the President to read the budget in accordance with Article 179 of our 1992 Constitution. And so, we are going to speak to Dr. Wolanyo. Now, Dr. Wolanyo is an economist, and we are going to ask him some few things about what especially the Finance Ministry mentioned yesterday as our expectations as far as the budget reading is concerned today. Good morning, Doc. How are you doing, please?
Good morning, and I think I'm doing well by grace.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Doctor, for speaking to us. We are pleased and happy that you have time for us this morning. Doc, in a few hours, we would receive the Finance Minister in Parliament and, of course, sit and take our time to listen to him whilst he reads the budget to us. Yesterday, the Finance Ministry published a statement and given us a little hint about what we should expect in the budget. Digitalization, entrepreneurship, the recovery of the economy after the COVID-19 pandemic are some of the highlights of the statement. What do you make of, or what are your initial thoughts of the budget and your expectations for or from what the minister is supposed to do today?
Thank you very much. I think by and large, budget is a working document and contains policies and programs that really helps us to move the country forward in terms of socio-economic development. So I'm very optimistic that the expectations of Ghanaians are quite high. And once the expectations of Ghanaians are quite high, meaning we really need to develop a very strong local engineering system to be able to rake in more revenues domestically and then be able to provide those amenities in infrastructure for the teeming localities for sustainable development. And so I am expecting that the budget should be able to address some 7 to 8 thematic areas. In terms of education, I'm expecting that government should roll out a policy to be able to provide classroom facilities, dormitory facilities, science laboratories, and libraries for the training free SHS students. Simply because the free SHS policy is one of the laudable ones, and we must do everything to prepare it. In terms of healthcare delivery, I'm believing that government should roll out a program to be able to expand the coverage of the National Health Insurance Scheme, so that we will be able to improve upon healthcare delivery. And also, once we improve upon healthcare delivery, we will be able to increase productivity. And so I'm believing that the finance minister should be able to do justice to those areas. And I think the social safety net should not be left out. The National Health Insurance Scheme, coupled with the pension schemes and the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, I've realized that most of our pensioners are living life below the poverty line. So we need to do everything possible to help them to live a life that is basically accepted in any normal society. And so we should be able to work on the pension schemes to better the loss of our pensioners. Now, when you come to banking and financial sector, I'm expecting that there are some institutions, especially the small and medium-scale enterprises, that are largely and greatly be affected by the COVID-19, especially last year. And I'm believing that the government should be able to provide a stimulus packages to be able to help sustain and support these indigenous entrepreneurial businesses that have largely been affected by the COVID-19, and also be able to go into specialty banks whereby we should have specific banks that will really support industrialization drive and also skills and manpower training development. And I think if really government wanted to solve the issues of unemployment, then we should be looking at developing a model for technical and vocational education and give it more priority attention. And so if we can champion it and describe it as industrial education, it's really going to help us reduce the rate of unemployment and also reduce social vices. And so with the agri sector, I'm expecting that government already have policies and programs like planting for food and jobs, which I think they should give the necessary attention and give it quite more resources. And simply because I've seen the agri minister as somebody who is very focused. So if we succeed and support it, we should be in no time achieve food security and stabilize the economy, and also be able to take advantage and reduce the post-harvest losses, and being able to process our produce in terms of agro-processing and agri-businesses. And that will really help us to even get raw materials for various industries that we are imagining to establish. And so, if we come to environmental degradations, the activities of the Galamsey has really affected the environment, affected potable drinking water and all others. And so, government should be able to roll out a new program. And it can launch a new programs like planting for trees. This will be economic trees that will still be very economically viable as in the unforeseeable future. And so that will create jobs for people who have also lost jobs during this Galamsey fight. And I think if we are able to approach the budget through these dimensions, what else? I think we will be able to take advantage of the African continental free trade area and be able to utilize opportunities available very well.
Okay, that's very interesting. But one of the highlights of the budget would, of course, be revenue mobilization. And if you follow discussions even before the reading of the budget today, revenue mobilization has been the center of a lot of the discussions. And on that, I read one argument that the government, instead of introducing a lot of taxes on everybody in the country, should perhaps look at how progressively they can tax and levy the wealthy and luxury, and I mean to fund this developmental agenda instead of or in an attempt to widen the tax net or increase revenue mobilization, they just increase or introduce more tax. What do you think about that?
Once the expectations of Ghanaians are very high, there is no other shortest way to do that than to ensure that we have enough revenue domestically. Once our debt stock is so high, and we don't want to see the government going to borrow from external sources, then we should be in a position to embrace new taxes. And so, whether the government is expanding the tax net or not, there will be taxes. And I believe that looking at the expectation of the quantum of money and resources that is needed to be able to achieve that, government should take the move at the horn and call a spade and not a big spoon. So, as for taxes are likely, it's optimistic. We should be ready to embrace some taxes in a few 3-4 hours to come. And I think that that is the only way we can have an assurance that we will be able to meet the expectations of Ghanaians. But I think the problem generally the Ghanaians have is not about taxes, but it's like they have seen what these taxes are being used for. So, as a matter of fact, I think it are just burdening the poor persons and making the rich to live better.
Yeah.
And so, if our leaders can also look at their lives and live a moderate life and also channel these resources into capital investment and create opportunities for everybody. Being able to extend electricity to rural areas and areas that really need power and energy. Being able to provide potable drinking water, good roads, and all the amenities, good hospitals and facilities. I think that the community will be happy. But in case of we are introducing new taxes and the living standard of the people remains the same and the environment remains the same, why not? They have every cause to complain.
Reb, I do not know if you are also expecting, or you may not be surprised if new taxes are introduced. But what should be the way now? Looking at the fact that the economy is still recovering after COVID-19. In fact, COVID-19 is still with us, and as of now, it's quite difficult for not just our economy, but a lot of economies in the world. With this hanging around our neck, do we need different taxes, or perhaps the government should develop a model to widen the net so that now we can get more people into the net rather than increasing the taxes on or introducing new ones for the same people who have been paying overtime to pay?
I think government will try as much as possible to generalize tax and not to target a particular group of people. So even we are likely to have an influence in our road lanes. And so these are some of the stories to and our government also is championing the agenda of benchmarking in various sports and harbors. I think these are the key areas where government is targeting to raise enough revenue.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I didn't get your last. I think the line wasn't very clear, so I didn't get your. Yeah.
The government is targeting two key areas to be able to generate revenue.
Yeah.
What with the benchmarking issues at the port of harbors.
Yeah.
And also it has to do with the road tolls, road rages are likely to be increased.
Okay. Now, from the ministry's government's digitalization agenda, and of course, many aspects have described this agenda being spearheaded by the Vice President, Dr. Baumia, a very laudable initiative. I don't know if you have any expectations on remodeling or re-strategization, anything like that in the budget.
Well, if wanted to take advantage of the digitization, then the only thing we need to do is to formalize the informal sector.
Okay.
And so formalizing the informal sector, we really need the digitization. So that's the only thing we can be able to champion that mantra. So seeing the impact of the digitization on the various aspects of the government where it has implemented passion, like the port and the harbors, the passport office, the DVLA, the birth registry, as well as the national health insurance. I think it has really has helped to synchronize the system, and it has also created a platform for massive revenue celebrations, and it serves as a form of checks and balances of accountability and determination.
Okay. And then another area over the past few weeks. Okay, sorry the rep, but over the past few weeks, skills development and entrepreneurship has also been topical in the country since the finance minister mentioned about the government's payroll being full, and so people should take advantage of the private sector entrepreneurship programs that have been made available by government and all that. Since then, entrepreneurship has been a very topical issue in the country. Now, we expect entrepreneurship and the skills development to feature in the budgets today. What areas do you think the government should or can look at as far as developing skills and making or creating an environment for entrepreneurs to succeed in Ghana? What areas do you think the government should look at?
Well, I believe that this really government then is the way the only solution to improve technical and vocational education.
Okay.
And so I think the name is also deterring people at the dropouts. And equal encouragement that it should choose the name and make it industrial education. And so once you have been able to get some form of training, apprenticeship, and some form of skills and entrepreneurial abilities, you should be able to establish your own small businesses, and that will help us to create more jobs and reduce the rate of unemployment. So I think we can do in the areas of the chemical industry, pharmaceutical industry, agribusinesses, and also developing a very strong look at it, like what people can do, what the B5 plus all do. We can do it. And the last week also add the digital economy, where in the era of based economy. And so we need a computerized system, the computerized economy. So ICT training and all of the tools really help us to reduce the rate of unemployment.
And then what they call the substitution or the import substitution program. I read about that. That as far as production, or we are still importing. I mean, we as a country, we should find or we should develop ways of which we can do a lot of production internally. Other than that, continuous importation of almost everything that we consume, almost everything that we use, would gradually give our economy some troubles. What can we do?
I think you are right, but if really we want, because the country is much more import-led economy, so if we want to prevent that, the only way is for us to encourage production.
Okay.
To encourage production, it's all about going through industrialization, and the industrialization calls for manufacturing and all others. And so we really need to, the policy has already been rolled out. That is one district,
one factory, yeah.
One district, one warehouse,
yeah.
And one village, one town.
Yeah.
These are policies that really help us to develop the local economy, especially at the district and the zonal levels. And so I see no reason why government should fund those again. All that is needed to do is to give it the priority attention and to support infant and local indigenous entrepreneurs to take this mantra up. And yes, at the end of the day, it's really going to affect the performance of the economy. So we need to champion industrialization, Ghana beyond aid, Africa beyond aid.
Okay.
It must be the order of the day, and that calls for massive industrialization, massive domestication, and massive forms of commercialization. So we needed the internet to play a key role for us.
Okay.
If at the end of the day we are producing, but we can't locate where the markets are. At the end of the revenue into post-harvest losses, and that is going to discourage much more youth and people in the hinterlands for going to argue this.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
We lost you again. You were on the post the losses people would make when they cannot locate the right markets.
So the government things to do, then you realize it's really going to put progress for us. It's going to experience post-harvest losses. Once we experience post-harvest losses, meaning the farmers are going to lose value for that.
Yeah.
And when that happens, it's really going to.
I think we lost Dr. Olano there, but Doctor has actually spoken on a few areas and what government should target, the areas where government can target and make the most out of revenue mobilization. Of course, a broad-based tax collection where the net is expanded rather than increasing or introducing new taxes for the targeted people to continuously pay. He also mentioned industrialization, that when we are able to produce as a country, of course, it also drives the economy positively, because already our economy is an import-led economy where we almost import every single thing that we do. That doesn't really drive the economy positively. And he mentioned education, where we prioritize the TVET, the vocational and the technical education. I mean, this is where the entrepreneurship and this is where the entrepreneurs are built. So we need to prioritize these systems of education so that we can be able to bring out or churn out people who are built for entrepreneurs and come boost the private sector. And once the private sector is on point, we know our economy is also on point. Among the government, among others, government digitalization agenda, where I asked, well, many aspects are already applauding that, but there is more to be done on that. This expansion, the economist mentioned formalizing our informal sector, So we need to formalize our informal sector. Once we are able to do that, it means we have taken the digitization agenda to them, so that with an expanded system, on an expanded policy on digitization, then we are definitely heading towards certain places. I've spoken about revenue mobilization. We've mentioned what we wanted to speak to Doctor about was another thing was unemployment. But of course, he mentioned it, where the government needs to create more opportunities and create an environment to boost the private sector in order to also push up employment, because government cannot be employing plenty. As the finance minister mentioned the last time, that the government payroll is full already. So if government cannot be employing, there still should be some forms of employment. But where can it come from? The private sector. How can the private sector be employing? The private sector can only employ when there is a very, very serene atmosphere, serene environment for them, a very, very, very flexible and accessible environment for them, so that they can boost themselves up, expand, and then employ a lot of these teeming youth who are in the homes and are unemployed. These are some of the ways that the government can also try and increase employment, reduce it drastically for the economy to be to also come back on the right track. We are going to keep updating you as far as the budget reading is concerned. Reps are already there, and so on our Facebook pages, in fact on our social media pages, just stay with us. We are going to update you whatever is happening as far as the budget reading is concerned. So stay with us. We are not done yet with AM Ghana. There is more after this.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258. Marketing Dex at Step Work Promises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Water, but you're not getting on and that's all I'm about fire.
Malaria and tea. But you are yet to bono. Malaria, therefore, yao. Enti awo, I share the customers. Well, when say mammy, I smart. Upper CB Malakio, a man the buyer or the eco school. Share. Say a Janisi berry market ni malaria and tea. I want to mean.
And now, Emma, when we are out to walk, so we have malaria testing. Maybe one and better and the CB Malagio. You do not, and now kick out bomb as soon as I CB Malagio. And no way so dear, and I don't grow. I yet tap shit.
A drawing your ma appeal for about a woman for any quada one in fear.
Susiana, what would you with
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and crato you mu aja to Musa.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
CB makeup now. I'm not go correct. What's your best mankasa? That's it. Who anyone? Oh, middle. You captures about one CB makeup sauce. Ah, you right here. Me see CB men capsules na make a yen.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules na ye nim ne dada. And one ya packaging na ye the fefe.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules no packaging is an. And you also no mood any biansan wako do ben pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada won di fie do ye. Enka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA Aji Edredin Kato Yato.
So much for staying tuned with us all through 6:30 with Na Anyama Collising and also with Sam. Right now, we're bringing you something that has to do with health, and it's not just health, but to do with children's health or babies, if we have to say it that way. To do with babies, it's an issue that plagues our society. I was just reading a little project. How do I even put it? The right word, for lack of better word. Let me just say project there. That research, yes, that was done on it, and I was seeing some 1,200 and something. Yes, I'm talking about prematurity. And did you know that today is World Prematurity Day? Some term it as preterm, and I have a wonderful lady here. She is a pediatrician, right? If I am correct. She's a doctor as well. Yes, a doctor pediatrician. And she is CEO. That's the part I want to say in a hurry. She's CEO of Baby, Child, and Co. Baby, Child, and Co. So it's on Facebook. I just joined that platform today. It's also on Instagram. So quickly, when it's about children, it means it concerns all of us. So quickly dash there, just like and then follow as we do this very, very short but important interview or discussion on this. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. It will be very short. I have with me here Dr. Seiram Wodui. Doctor, good morning.
Good morning.
How has your morning been so far?
Fine, thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm also happy to have you here. When we talk about prematurity all the time, sometimes people think it's a disease. Sometimes people think, I know, especially when it's our culture, we just don't want to do anything which is away from the normal. So we are surprised. I am surprised that today is World Prematurity Day. I'm surprised because I'm not hearing it out there. You know, when it comes to certain things, World Breast, was it the Breast Cancer Month? We heard about it. Everybody was partaking in it and all that. I mean, when it comes to other things, diabetes and all that, we hear about it. But when it comes to prematurity, this is the first time I'm hearing about World Prematurity. And I know that most of my viewers are feeling same. They're in the same shoes with me right now. What do you think? I know I was talking to you earlier, but I really do want it to go out there. Why is prematurity something on the low? Why are we not talking about it?
We talk about it, but because of the people who talk about it. You know, when you talk about breast cancer, when you talk about things that have to do with adults, so far it's done by midwives, nurses, doctors, and pediatricians. So it's basically about who to speak for the babies and children. Yes, adults tend to speak better for themselves than, yes. And this cuts across everything. It's not only about World Prematurity Day. Anything, when the national cake is being shared, is the lowest goes to the babies. So it's not surprising.
We are going to have the budget read for us.
Yes, so we can watch and see.
And see if there'll be anything attributed to our babies, our kids. But yesterday, on that same note, yesterday we had in our news that
cancer is covered. Yes, that was after a lot of advocacy. I mean, imagine when the NHIS came. I mean, how many adults advocated for what adult conditions? There were some, well, later on, some adult cancers were added on, but most of the things were adult things. So it took a lot of advocacy for that to happen. So that still just supports the fact that, I mean, people need to speak for the babies and children. If no one does that, then they get left out.
Okay, so speaking on prematurity, coming back to what prematurity is, people hear preterm, prematurity, preterm, prematurity. What is it? What is prematurity?
Preterm, prematurity,
Premi,
all referring to the same thing. And it refers to a baby that is born before the pregnancy has completed 37 weeks. So your pregnancy normally should last, should complete 37 weeks. That is 38 weeks to 40 weeks.
Okay.
And when you have a baby that is born before the pregnancy has completed 37 weeks, that is prematurity.
So even if it's 36 weeks?
Yes, but we would call it a late preterm. So when it comes to prematurity, it depends on how long the baby stayed in the womb. So we have those who were born less than the 28 weeks. Then we have those born 28 to 32 weeks. And then we have those born after 32 weeks. They have different problems, or the problems, the severity is different. So we group them actually. We have extreme preterm, very preterm, and then moderate to late preterm.
Okay, so before we go to my next question, let's dive a little into it. Extreme preterm. So you were saying that's before 28 weeks. So 28 weeks will mean 7 months, right?
Yes.
So before 7 months?
Yes, before 7 months, yes.
So what are some of the conditions you're likely to see in extreme preterm?
When a baby is born before term, the organs that the baby has, or we all have, are not well developed. So most of their problems stem from the fact that their organs are not well developed. Now, when you take the extreme preterm, they will have breathing problems because the lung is not well developed. The lungs maturity is better from 34 weeks ongoing. So when you are born less than 28 weeks, then you have breathing problems because your lungs are not well developed. You have problems with keeping water in your body because the skin that prevents us from losing our water is also not well developed. Their skin is very thin, so they tend to lose a lot of water from it. And because it's thin as well, you can have germs easily crossing through the skin into their bloodstream. So then they have loss of water, which is dehydration. And then they have bloodstream infections that we call sepsis. And they need to be able to eat, but their ability to suck breast milk is not well developed. Their intestines are not well developed to absorb what they eat. So then they have problems with feeding, and then it can make their blood sugars go low. Blood sugars go low, it affects a lot of things, including the brain. So they have problems with that as well. And then because their digestive system is not well developed, if their care is not taken with their feeding, then they don't grow. They are already too small, then they don't grow, then they become malnourished, and then it adds on to their problems. And then everything, the heart is not well developed, so the beating of the heart is a problem. The brain also has issues, again, just because it's not well developed. And so they have all sorts of problems. One other problem they have is jaundice. Most babies, a lot of babies get newborn jaundice, but jaundice is commoner among preterm babies. And then because they are so small, it tends to affect them in a more severe form than those who are born bigger. So they have all these problems that are stemming from the fact just that they were born preterm. There are certain things you should take from your mother as a store. Micronutrients, we have iron, folic acid, all those things you take from your mother in the womb as a store. But when you are born too soon, then you don't have that store. So you are coming to the world without that store that would have given you a lot of other things, and it also adds to your problems.
So what causes preterm? Have I jumped the gun too much?
No, that's fine. In some cases, we don't know what causes it. The mother just goes into labor spontaneously. That's nothing really caused it. They just go into labor and then they have preterm babies. And then in some cases, premature babies are born because the pregnancy was in trouble, so to speak. And then the doctors feel that the baby has a better chance of survival if they is delivered preterm. And then we also have the ones that we can really readily do things about, like infections. Infections in a pregnant mother can cause the mother to go into labor preterm and have a preterm baby. A mother who is malnourished and pregnant can go into preterm labor and have a preterm baby. So these ones tie in with antenatal care. If you have good antenatal care, your risk of having a preterm baby is lower than if you don't have good antenatal care. And so then prematurity has been found to be commoner in poorer families, more vulnerable populations, because they may not be able to access health care, they may not have the education needed to attend antenatal care and that sort of thing. So when it comes to Africa and Asia, we have the higher burden of premature babies.
Okay.
Yes.
That was going to be my next question actually. That how common is preterm? Because if you look at the way we talk about it, I mean, you check how we talk, we don't talk about it at all, which makes it seem
it's
like
as if it's not
it's
there.
not there.
It is there. About 1 in 10 pregnancies, not about, actually more than 1 in 10 pregnancies will end up in a preterm birth. And when you even look at where this data is coming from, this data is coming from our teaching hospitals. So you can imagine that there's somebody in my village who is going to have a preterm who is not covered in this data. So it's far more actually than we even see, because I mean, you sit in Accra or a big city and you do a research, but at least 1 in 10 pregnancies is going to result in a preterm delivery. Yeah.
Oh, all right. So is it actually, I know you spoke about the extreme and then the late preterm and all that, but when we look at prematurity as a whole, is it a problem?
It is a problem because it is one of the commonest or one of the leading causes of death in children under 5. You see all these problems that I have mentioned. When the preterm baby is not well cared for, then they have all these problems, or they have the problems and the problems don't get resolved, and then they may end up dying. And that is why the advocacy, yes, they will be born, because like I said, some of them we can't do anything about. Some of them we would need to do something about, so it doesn't happen, the preterm delivery doesn't happen. But once the baby is born, what do we do? So we need to know that, okay, they are born too soon, they will have all these sort of problems, so we can prevent some of these problems that they will have. For instance, preterm babies can die from just being cold, because like I said, their skin is not well developed, and the skin helps us keep the heat in our bodies. So if we prevent them from getting cold, then we enhance their chances of survival. And there are simple things that we can do. One notable thing is kangaroo mother care. There's a way that the mother is taught to carry the baby in contact with her skin, like carrying your baby in a pouch. And then it helps to conserve the heat and actually transfer some of your body heat to the baby. And the baby doesn't get cold, and then you enhance the survival of the baby. Breastfeeding support. We know that they will have feeding difficulties. Some of them, because they are so young or born too small, they may not have the energy to suck. But with correct breastfeeding support, you will be taught how to express breast milk and feed your baby with a cup and spoon. And then they get their nutrients, they get the water from there, and then they are able to fight infections, because the breast milk also contains all these things that help us to fight infections. So there's so much that we can do to enhance their survival, yes, and that is why we need to talk about it.
And that brings me, are hospitals capable of enhancing their survival? Looking at our hospitals now, at Ghana as a country, are we doing what we need to do?
A few weeks ago, very recently in the news, there was this news about a baby who was born around 400 grams, just weighing around an apple, and then spent, I think, a year or so in hospital, was ventilated and so on, and the baby survived. So that's in the developed world, yes. But here too, we can do so many things for them. Like I said, things like something like breastfeeding, it doesn't cost anything. You just need the support. You need someone to teach you, to guide you. Because again, when it comes to prematurity, the food that is best suited for them is the breast milk. So one, you need to know that if you have a preterm baby, that baby is better off on breast milk. And then you need to know that this baby may not be able to suck well. Or even if they suck at all, they will stop sucking because they are tired of sucking, not because they are full. So therein, the support comes. You need someone to support you, to teach you to express the milk, to feed your baby, how much to feed, how often to feed. You need somebody to talk to you about hand washing, because these people, the preterms are vulnerable. Their immune system is not well developed. So hand washing, personal hygiene, how to keep your baby warm, so that the baby doesn't use all the food they are eating, the small food, to keep themselves warm. You know, you keep the heat in. Yes, all those sort of things. Follow up with your care, how to attend hospital, all those sort of things. And then with that care, cost effective. It is not a lot of money. You don't need big equipment. Big equipment is needed for a few, you know, because there will always be complex cases. But for the majority, these simple things we can do for them.
So you did say that there was a child weighing just 400 grams. They had to
Yes,
spend
and
like
yes,
a year.
and survived.
And survived and spend like a year. So do all preterms spend the rest of their, what is supposed to be the rest of the month in the womb, do they spend it in a hospital?
Yeah, that's a good question. So the answer is partly in your question. It depends on how preterm you were.
Okay.
So the smaller you are, the more care you require. But no, you don't need to spend all the time that you should have spent in the womb in the hospital.
Okay.
What we need you to do is to be able to breathe on your own. And once that you can do that, you are good to go. We need you to be able to feed and maintain your, the sugar in your body and those things. So once you can do that, you are good to go. You don't have an infection, you are good to go. You are gaining weight adequately, you are good to go home. So we just need to teach the mother the things to do at home. Of course, we need to follow up. You need to come to hospital regularly so as we see, are you growing? Is there any problem to be corrected?
Oh, doctor, I am very, very grateful with that about that, because my elder brother was born preterm.
Wow.
I think it was either 7 months. Yeah, my mom always says it, because when we look at his height now and his size now, he's married with 2 kids now, and he doesn't look it. I mean, nothing shows that he is preterm. My mom always elaborates on how much care, and even for herself, how much, she said she really slimmed down because she had to really do a lot to support this life. And she always talks about having the support of the family as well. Her mom, her aunties, everybody was there. I want to talk about the caregivers themselves. So what kind of, I know you spoke on the breast care and the pouching.
Yeah,
The
it's called
kangaroo,
mother
yes.
care.
The kangaroo mother care, yes. What else, as a mother who is, I mean, all mothers that are expecting babies, because we don't know who it is likely to affect. So all mothers who are expecting babies, while they are listening to you, what should they expect? What should they be ready for as a caregiver to this little one? I know that sometimes even pregnancies come with their own challenges, and then to have this as well. And then what kind of support do we also have for the caregivers themselves?
So if you have a preterm baby, or it is imminent, you've been told that for so and so reason your baby must be delivered preterm, like happens in some conditions. The first thing is to know that, be confident that, like the example you've given, and I said about more than 1 in 10 pregnancies will end in prematurity. So be confident. It's not only you. There are lots of mothers out there with preterm babies. There are lots of babies who were born preterm and who are doing well now. So know that it's not only you. The babies come so small. Sometimes they look so fragile, and we are even afraid to touch them.
Yes.
But you need to be confident. So many mothers have done it before you, so you need to be confident that you can go through this. Now, when it comes to support that we can give them, let me take it from the mother herself or the primary caregiver. You need to relax. You need to relax. You need people to help you to take care of the other chores so that you can relax. When you relax, what it does to you is that it puts your brain in a good space, so you are able to produce a lot of breast milk for your baby. Because the stress of the anxiety, is my baby going to survive? All those things work against breastfeeding. So you need to relax. You need a lot of support. You need people to take over the house chores. You need daddy to help with the other siblings so that you can relax and then produce breast milk.
Wow.
Then the hygiene. The baby is small. Immunity is low, not well developed. So the hygiene of those who handle the baby. In hospital, visiting is restricted, but once they get home, that may be a problem, because when you have a lot of visitors, we all carry things in our noses, in our mouth, on our hands. Yes. So the hygiene, and then it's not necessary for so many visitors to come at once. This baby is still developing. Yes, the baby should ideally have been in the womb still.
Yes,
so if the baby is in the womb, we don't see. Yes, so the hygiene, the hygiene, and then you need to be taught the danger signs to look out for. Like when your baby is hot, when your baby is not feeding, when your baby is not active, when it looks like your baby has paused breathing for longer than usual, all those things, then you pick it quickly, and then what to do about it. If you need to go to hospital, you go to hospital with it. We give most of them supplements. So we ask that we breastfeed. But like I said, they came out with little or no stores from the mother of certain minerals and micronutrients. So we give them some supplements that are provided, like certain multivitamins and so on, but it's based according to the weight of the child and how preterm the baby is. So it's not something that you should go and purchase over the counter. When you take to hospital, then they teach you how to give these things to the baby that you mix with your breast milk, or you put in breast milk and then you feed the baby. Yeah. And then the follow-up regular.
Which is very, because even
Yes.
the normal term babies
should be followed
even
up.
they,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm pregnant. What are some of the things I can do to prevent prematurity? Is it even preventable at all?
Some of them are preventable. So I talked about infections leading to preterm birth. Yes, when the mother is very hot, febrile, that can induce labor, can make the mother go into labor. So you need to protect yourself from infection. Antenatally, we are talked to about sleeping in mosquito nets, because malaria can make you have a preterm delivery. So that is something. We are talked to about antenatally. They screen for, I mean, when you're pregnant, you go to hospital, they screen for things like urinary tract infections. So if you have good antenatal care, that is screened for. And then if it's discovered that you have that, then they give you treatments for it. So good antenatal care, good nutrition. If you are malnourished, you could have a preterm delivery. So people say eat for two. You don't need to eat for two, but you need to eat a balanced diet. Balanced means that you have your vegetables in there, you have your fruits in there, your protein, your carbohydrates, your fats and all. So you don't eat for two. Yes, in the right proportions, but you need to eat a balanced diet. Again, the stress. Sometimes you are pregnant and you are so stressed because, I mean, you have to balance work and then being a mother and being a wife and then the other children, and then it becomes so stressful. So as much as possible in pregnancy, you should try and have ways of making sure that you don't get so stressed, because when you are so stressed, it can give you a preterm birth. Yes. And then there are the other ones that, I mean, if you are hypertensive, for instance, then that's the problem. So you can even think about it as you need to prepare for the pregnancy before you get pregnant to optimize your chances. Okay, because if you are hypertensive and your blood pressure is not controlled and then you get pregnant, that can actually make it worse. And then when it makes it worse, what happens is that if the blood pressure goes too high, the doctors may be forced to deliver your baby before it is time. If you are diabetic, you need to make sure that you have good control before you get pregnant. And when you're pregnant, moderate exercise, eating well, don't smoke, those sort of things as well.
So I have a friend who, I think, I don't know if it's hypertension or diabetes. She didn't have it, but it was after she got pregnant. So in that case, what do you do? Because if you're already hypertensive, if you already have diabetes, that's when you can psychologically prepare before you enter into pregnancy or while you are preparing for pregnancy. But what about those, because, well, is there anything like that?
Yes, there is.
So what about those who enter into pregnancy before they become diabetic or they become hypertensive and all that? How do they also prepare? Or
yeah, so good care. If you were not hypertensive and then you got pregnant and then you were hypertensive, then good care, because they will put you on medication, they have to monitor you. Same for if you were not diabetic and then you got pregnant and you developed gestational diabetes, the same thing, good care. Yes, so if you are told, then you need to follow through with, you develop a plan with your caregiver, you follow through with the plan and so on and so forth.
All right. So it is an interesting discussion, and I hope that there is a program that we actually had for the delivery room, that is for babies, that is pregnancy, even before pregnancy, and I do really hope that they will take you up on this particular one. It has been a very interesting topic to discuss. But I just want to just one more, something to tell our mothers out there, especially when it comes to prematurity, because it looks like people are afraid to talk about it. I don't know where the stigma and everything where that fear is coming from. So I just want you to just look into the camera, speak to our women why they shouldn't be afraid. Because as I said, for me, I know my other brother is normal and all that. So just in any language anyway. In any language our people will understand. So hit them with it for me, doctor.
So prematurity it happens. Yes, you can do what you should do to prevent it, but even then it happens. And when it happens to you, you don't need to be afraid. Just trust what your caregivers or the healthcare workers tell you. Trust them, ask your questions and understand. A lot of times I find that we don't understand because we don't ask questions. But if it's explained to you why you should breastfeed instead of say formula, if it's explained to you why you should carry your baby a certain way, then you are more likely to go through with it because you understand it. Yes. So don't be afraid. Interact with the healthcare providers, ask questions. If you need support, you need to reach out for support you get. And in fact, I offer all these supports on my page, Baby Child and Co. So you can come there. We even have a parenting club that you can join. And then we have YouTube. We do all sorts of things just to give you the education that is needed. So you can do that. But don't be afraid. There are so many mothers who have had preterm babies. I don't know why we don't talk about it. We are afraid because maybe they will say, I've done something. That is why my baby was preterm. But sometimes you haven't done anything. So, I mean, feel free, reach out, and then you get the information, the advice, the support that you need.
Thank you very much, Dr. Seyam Wardui. I like your name. I really like it. And I want to stress on this. She is a pediatrician, right?
Yes.
And also CEO, I hope I got that correct.
Yes,
CEO
yes.
of Baby, Child and Co. Make sure you join. I know we all want to be. If you are not a parent, you are aspiring to be. So join that platform. Know how it can help you. Know what to do now, even as you prepare to be a parent. Know what you can do to support a parent, and know what you can do even as a parent to support a child. Remember, there's something she said I'm taking away with me, that children cannot speak for themselves. We have to advocate for them. So this is by way of advocacy. World Premature Day. So visit a mother who is a caregiver to someone like that. Offer them the help you can. You never know how what that help will do for them. We will go on a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll speak to Reginald, especially a special report coming from the Parliament. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing decks at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Order. What will I get your mark? And that's all I order. The right you are fine.
Malaria and tea. Apa you are yet more bono.
What you have to keep it.
Malaria therefore yao. Enti awo. Ashene customers. Wahune se mami ya smart. Apa sibi malakyo. Amma ne baya odiko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ani malaria nti a ontimi ni.
Onia entina ho ema we mu biara to wo. Se wo ye malaria test na ebi wo mu a edra bedi wa ene sibi malakyo. Ye dinu na ne hahama na akeka bom asone so aye sibi malakyo. Edra wo nso de enya no kra o. Aye tata she.
Edra yi nyema apemfo. Abate a wo ma wo manufo ene nkwada a woni mfie dumie.
Suziana, what would you win?
FD ahwehwe saa ejedi nkrato yi mu agye atomu se enye.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
RwandAir, fly the dream of Africa.
Yeah, CB will make up now. I'm correct. What's your best mankasa?
That's it.
Oh, middle. You captures back on CB men capsules. You see, CB men capsules and make a year.
Yeah, you see men and women's capsules now. You name the dada. And one year packaging I the pepper.
Wow! What a packaging! CB men, any CB women capsules, no packaging is out. And you also no mood any biansan wako do pegi.
Share a painful any about town man kwada no for. Any kwada go di fie do ye. En ka ho.
Susanna. Ghana man be man tamase.
Dodo Afre 0247 111671 and 0246 578 750. FDA aje edwedin kato yato.
Welcome aboard the safest airline in Africa. With industry-leading safety measures to protect your well-being. The first in Africa to earn a diamond standard of safety. Offering a more contactless, safe, and seamless experience. Delivered with a smile by Africa's first fully vaccinated crew. Creating special memories that bring the joy back to flying, so you can continue making memories with your loved ones. Book your flight with RwandAir today. RwandAir, the safest airline in Africa.
Rwandair, fly the dream of Africa.
Announcements on Adoatv. Contact Adoatv for your general announcements, proclamations and publications, job vacancies, etc. at a very affordable rate. Call 050-92-57754, 020-9494-258, or visit our marketing desk at the work premises. Adoatv, bringing good things to life.
Malaria nti abayi wa yejuma bono. Malaria defo ya o. Enti awo ahire ne customers ni. Wa hu ne se maami aye smart. Ape CB Malakio. Amma ne ba ya odi ko school. She se aduane si berry market chi ni malaria nti a ontimi ni.
Onia enti na ho ema we mu biara to wo. So we malaria test. Maybe we more. And better wa and CB Malagio. Yedinuna, Nehama, and now kick bomb a sonnet so I CB Malagio. And no way so dear. And I no grow. I yet tata shit.
A drawing near ma appeal for about a woman for any quada won't feed me.
Susiana, what do you with
FD Ashusha sa a jedi and cratoimu adia to Muse.
Do you know that we have phenomenal influence on our various regulatory bodies? How many of these regulatory bodies do you know within the country? Are you aware you can lodge your complaints if and when you are not satisfied with a product or service? How often do you ask the relevant questions? Whom do you call when things are not rightly done? Connect with me on Regulators on Adoatv as we deliberate on the purpose of these regulatory institutions, their functions, accomplishments, and shortcomings. We ask the back-breaking questions and get the unpolished truth. Be a part of our conversations.
That rather long break. Yes, I did promise you that we were going to take some excerpts coming from the Parliament House, and Reginald is there to do us that favor. Hello, Reginald, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing this morning?
We are in the chambers of the Parliament House.
Okay, just go right on.
Behind me. The place is quite empty at the moment because we're expecting the finance minister to be in here around 10 a.m. Probably starts the presentation around 11 a.m. And this is supposed to span about 2 to 3 hours. So we're all here currently. It's only media persons that are stationed here and are waiting to execute and broadcast to the world. And we at Adoatv will definitely do the same as well.
Okay, so you are saying that currently there's nobody there, so I can't even ask you the atmosphere there. But what about the media personalities there? Are they hopeful? Do you see any hope in anybody there? At least as I am.
For everybody, this budget presentation must seek to address a lot of concerns. And you know that before today, the finance ministry called on public for the public to put in or submit their inputs and suggestions on what they think the 2022 budget should contain. Now, a lot of concerns have come in, a lot of submissions have come in, and typically amongst them, if you care to know, recently there has been some increment in fuel prices. Now, for you asked about the media presence. For most of the media presence here, who are young ones, the expectation is on the finance minister address to students at UPSA during their graduation, where he told them that government payroll was full. Now, we're expecting to hear if there would be any remedy to that situation um, here today. As well, the recent NAPO freebies, as of yesterday, were being asked to stay where they were or to the station where they were employed until discussions have gone on. Now, the NAPO chairperson himself also indicated that details of where to go from here would be announced in the 2022 budget and economic policy. So we're waiting to hear some of all of these things. Now, if you would recall, just recently, the president himself was in Glasgow, as well as some other government executives or personnel in the government sector, and they were chasing billion mitigating loan or whatsoever. Whether it's a gift, I think so. They were chasing that $1 billion climate mitigating money, and we hope that there would be an indication on how that $1 billion mitigation fund would be used to ensure, or perhaps to show how committed the country in itself is towards sanitation and climate. So the expectations are many, and we are hoping that the finance minister will come to some point.
Hello. Oh, I'm not getting any feedback from here. Hello. Hello. All right. I'm very sure that we had some technical issues with the sound there, but he's there. As we can see, Parliament is empty. He was just briefing us on some of the concerns that some people, members of the citizenry of the nation, have brought out. We had NAPCO there. We heard about the fuel prices as well. I don't know what yours is, but I am hopeful. Yes, when NAPCO is touched, I believe it will follow up with the unemployment issues in the country. So we will continue to try and bring you feedback from there. That was Reginald Abe. Yes, Adi, sorry, he usually is with me here. Yes, today he is in Parliament, and we are told that Parliament operations there will start at 9, but the Minister of Finance will be there at 10 to read the budget. We are all here. We want to hear. We want to know what exactly the budget has in store for us, the 2022 budget. And with that said, we will come back after this break. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. back after that short break. So we told you we will bring you feedback from the Parliament House. Yes, there is Reginald Addy. He is there to bring you as and when it starts. You're going to see and you're going to hear. And we'll be back here tomorrow morning, yes, to digest and to discuss on issues that will come up from the Parliament House. So from me here and the AM Ghana team is still Adoatv, where we bring you good things. We bring good things to life, and it's not going to end with this show. Don't go anywhere. Continue to watch Adoatv. Even as I sign off with the rest of my crew, I have Pep. Yes, I have Anastasia. Also there, Mary. Yes, Chris, Sasu, be careful. Also, Patty and Nicholas, all of you, Jonah. Yes, today I didn't forget you, Jonah. So all of you there making this show a success, bringing this good thing to life. For me and the rest of the team, it's bye-bye. We'll be back here tomorrow.